This is the town of Ashland, Massachusetts, 25 miles southwest of Boston. Population, 8,000. Also known as Clocktown, USA, home of the electric clock. The town where Henry Warren invented the electric clock in 1914 and organized the Warren Telechron Company. This famed New England town is now the home of Timex Clock Company's Telechron plant. The heritage and technologies of the Waterbury Clock Company, U.S. Time Corporation, Warren Telechron Company, and Timex Corporation were combined in 1979 to create the Timex Clock Company. Mr. Ed Hartmeyer of General Electric, the company from whom Timex purchased the Ashland facility.
I'm very happy that the Telechron plant and you, the employees, are now the Timex Clock Company, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Timex Corporation. I've worked with the Timex officials for the past many months in trying to bring GE and Timex together with this as a Timex facility. I found the people that I've dealt with to be completely dedicated to the growth of the timekeeping business.
Well, today marks the end of an era for the Ashland plant.
Mr. Ed Izzo, General Manager of the Telechron plant of Timex Clock Company.
Wherever there's an ending, there's also a beginning. And today is the beginning of a partnership between the employees of the Telechron plant and the Timex Corporation.
First of all, we're a time company.
Bob Weltsian, President of Timex Corporation.
For the past 3 years, all the options that we have to expand out of the watch business. We are actually the world's largest watch company and the world's largest gyro company. And actually, Nick Mahalis has built the gyro business to its present situation, and we expect him to do the same for clocks. But we've decided that we will stay in the time business, or the instrument business. Clocks, watches, timers, motors, gyros. We're not going to expand outside that. And logically, clocks has to be one of the next things that you get into beyond watches. The Timex product, the Waterbury Clock Company products, have the same benefit as Telechron and GE clocks. They're not cheap, they're high value. Timex is by no means the cheapest clock in America, nor is the cheapest watch in America, nor is the GE Telechron, now Timex clock, the cheapest clock in America. The emphasis is on value. You get more for what you pay. We have become the American watch business. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, there were many American watch companies, most of them in the Danbury, Waterbury area. Over the generations, it's come down to one American watch company, Timex. Furthermore, we're very open about being the American watch company and staying in America. And we think we can be the American clock company and keep that business here. And therefore, I'd like to bring on now the man who probably is more responsible than any other single man for the commercial success of Timex. And through his demonstration of the value of Timex has made it a household word. My good friend, John Cameron Swayze. John?
Thank you very much. That's wonderful. I want to tell you that this reception is a great deal different from the one that I got the last time I faced a tank and a Timex product. I know you've all seen that tape. So now we're going to update it and use a Timex clock, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, here it is right here, you know, the Timex clock. We're going to put that clock in the water, 4,500 revolutions per minute. Imagine the turbulence and the pressure exerted on that clock. All right, Jerry, if you will, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have a Timex clock strapped to one of the blades of this propeller. And we're going to show you again the dependability and the durability of this marvelous Timex timepiece. We're going to rev it up there, 4,500 revolutions a minute. Think of it, 4,500 revolutions a minute. Think of the pressure, the turbulence. Start it off. Look at that. Can you imagine what that clock has to execute? Okay. Keep her going for a moment. I want to see this turbulence. I want to see this pressure. Okay, that's good. Woo. Don't want to drown the studio audience. Bring her up, please, Jerry. Now, we're going to take that clock off that propeller. And you'll see that this clock came through it as if nothing had happened. Because you know, Timex can take a licking and keep on ticking, and that's one of the reasons that more people buy Timex than any other clock in the world. Okay. Thank you. Now, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that and imagine what it went through, and it took it. Jesus, I think it was full of marbles. That's our recreation, and that's a reasonable facsimile of the one you saw that we did so many years ago on the level with a Timex watch instead of a clock. Incidentally, that watch we used in that Timex ad, which you've seen, was running, and it continued to run for a long time. We did one down in Acapulco one time with a skeet shooter. Had a lagoon right here just off the beach. 3 Mexican boys in that lagoon. Skeet shooter on a big outcropping of rock, Mexican champion. The idea was I would say to a launcher, a man with a launch, all right, let her go, and he'd launch a clay pigeon with a Timex on it. The skeet shooter would shoot it out of the sky, fall in the lagoon. One of the boys would dive for it, race up and give it to me, and I'd exhibit that sweep hand still going, although the pigeon was shattered. Had to do all that in 90 seconds. Well, 20 minutes after we started, we got a perfect take. But as the boy's hand swung, running toward me, through the camera angle, it disappeared behind a piece of rock. You couldn't see it for just a moment. They threw it away. Said people are certain to say that when the watch disappeared, you cut the film, put in a new one. We worked all day, 6:30 that night, to get another one. The skeet shooter started to miss. Then he got embarrassed, and pretty soon he couldn't hit that wall over there. 61 takes. But we finally got it, and it was a pretty good commercial. Another time, we were out on Long Island, along the beach there. And we had a boat called an espadon. Now, an espadon is a boat that was invented in France for rescue work. And we had a Frenchman running it with an outboard motor on it. The sea was rough, which was just exactly what we wanted, because every time that espadon hit a wave, it would smack it. And the watch was right there where it smacked it. It was a tough test, believe me. The Frenchman took the boat down there, slapping the waves, and he was supposed to turn and come into the beach. And it's a flat bottom, so he's going to slide right up on the beach, and then I'd go over and show the watch. As I say, he had 3 miles of beach there. Only one thing on it, a tripod and a camera. He came into the beach, and he hit that tripod and camera right on the nose. It was an absolute direct bullseye, and everything flew everywhere. So we had to work the rest of the day to get that one out. A good image, a solid product, great acceptance, and sensibly priced. And I think it's simply wonderful that now, not just one product, not the Timex watch alone at the top of the heap, but a team. The Timex watch and the Timex clock, both right up there in first place. And if we all work together, you, and me and all of us, we will keep the team, the watch and the clock, right up where it belongs. It's great to have this chance to speak with you, and I think the association is wonderful, and I thank you. Good luck and good health.
John Cameron Swayze is Mr. Timex. And since his very first television commercial for Timex in the mid-50s, he has helped to make Timex a household name throughout the world. And now more than 800 employees here at the Ashland plant are continuing their proud heritage of making quality clocks and timers for a worldwide market. Timex will continue to set high standards of quality, dependability, and value. As a pioneer and leader in timekeeping technology, Timex will create and develop even better products for the future. While Timex continues to serve as the world's largest seller of watches, Timex Clock Company will serve the world's needs for clocks, timers, and small motors. Timex is proud to carry on this tradition of more than 200 years.